Hello, and welcome to today's video. Today, I wanted to talk about my favorite perk from Season 16 that also, in turn, makes for my favorite gun in Season 16. My favorite perk in Season 16 is Stats for All. The reason for this is Stats for All now gives One for All a pairing partner, and the partnership is outstanding. With Stats for All, you have to hit 3 targets, just like you do for One for All, but instead of the damage boost, you get increases to your reload speed, your range, and your stability. The reload speed buff is the main reason why I like it so much. I really like high reload speed boosting perks. Think Surplus at ×3. Think Feeding Frenzy ×5. It's addicting to have that like blazing fast reload speed because it's like, you reload instantly and now you're back to shooting, which means you can just mow stuff down over and over again. And this pairs so well with One for All because they're on the same cooldown. They're both 9 seconds. They're both 10 seconds. Stats for All, however, is basically 11 seconds because it gets a 00 countdown. One for All does not. And One for All gives you that 35% damage buff. And then Stats for All is going to give you basically Feeding Frenzy ×5. So you're going to hit those 3 enemies. You're going to give yourself a huge reload speed bonus. And you're going to give yourself a huge damage bonus. This is why Sweet Sorrow is my favorite Season 16 weapon. Sweet Sorrow is a 720 round per minute auto rifle. It's a rapid fire frame, so it's going to have a really big magazine. And you can just spray and just melt everything in front of you once you get both perks rolling. And it's an instant just re-proc every single time. You proc 3 perks, you kill everything in front of you, then you re-proc because you're going to reload at max reload speed, which completely negates like any downside One for All had beforehand. This makes it so that the gun is really addicting and really like fun to just go into strikes or go into like the Silas Battlegrounds or even hate GMs. Like, this thing is my overload gun this season for overload auto and SMG. Like, this is the overload gun I ran all season because I thought it was by far the best overload option we've had all season. I think it's better than Frontal Web under Light because of One for All. One for All is way better than Frenzy as a under Light perk because it's a 35 damage bonus versus a 15. I do think some guns benefit really well from 15% damage bonus, but I think One for All is a better perk. But with all that being said, I'm going to head into D2 Gunsmith and show y'all some guns that I think really work with this combo. And then I'm going to show you a little secret snippet at something coming next week with Guardian games to get y'all's hands on and be aware of as you are playing Guardian games next week. Also, hashtag Team Hunter. Alright, let's head over to D2 Gunsmith now. Alright, we're in D2 Gunsmith now. I just wanted to show y'all some of the guns that roll with this perk combination. This is every gun as of Season 16 that currently rolls with it, outside of one that currently is not visible in the API. However, one did leak, and I'll show that in a bit. So, what type of guns do I think this perk combination should be on? I think this perk combination should be used on guns that you can spray with. Guns that can have really big magazines or like are going to do enough damage in the magazines to proc all the perks quickly enough or are going to shoot fast enough, right? So guns that I think work really well. Duty Bound is really strong. The only reason I don't recommend Duty Bound is because I personally think kinetic weapons don't have a place. If you're going to put your primary in that slot, I think right now the better choice is just to run stasis weapons. And backing off and piggybacking on that, Crate. Perfect example. It's going to have a bigger magazine. It's going to shoot faster, and it can roll the same perk combination right here. Not to mention that this also is a stasis weapon, so it's going to work with all your stasis builds when it comes to creating elemental wells. And on top of all of that, it has the Vice Stinger perk, so you may not even need to proc Stats for All to even like proc One for All because of the Vice Stinger perk. And if you wanted to, you have Headstone, But though, if you're running Headstone, I highly recommend Subsistence as the perk with Headstone because it's really strong. Another gun that I also think is really strong with it, besides Sweet Sorrow, is this season's HMG from the Silas Battlegrounds. Stats for all, 1 for all on a gun where you can go 92 in the mag without backup mag. Remember, these are about to get a 40% buff against regular enemies and a 20% buff against bosses. So these things are going to absolutely melt like red bars in majors and champions. So I would definitely be on the lookout for this role. Because it's going to be really strong when it comes to like end game level stuff where ads don't just fall over. And this perk combination is going to be really strong. And you could go to 112 if you go backup mag, which in end game content would be a legitimate, like you could say that's a legitimate thing to do. And you could shoot forever. You could probably proc stats for all, 1 for all twice in one mag at 112 bullets, which is stupid. And lastly, as I've already mentioned, Sweet Sorrow is another great choice for the perk combination. There is one more, but I'm going to have to cut the video so I can pull that up for y'all. A couple honorable mentions that I think Stats for All works, the Stats for All, 1 for all works really well on. The Waveframe GLs work really well here with Stats for All and 1 for all. 1 for all is their highest damage bonus outside Golden Tricorn. And Stats for All is going to be their by far highest reload bonus. I personally think, I know everybody likes Ambitious and Chain Reaction, but I actually think Stats for All and Chain Reaction is the better perk combination here. Because Ambitious doesn't do anything for you when it's enhanced, except give you a little bit more reload speed. But Stats for All just maxes out your reload speed, so who cares? And Explosive Personality, same thing. Stats for All, 1 for all is a great perk combination, though this is not what I personally chose, because I prefer auto-loading holster on my wave frames. Alright, we're going to jump over to a little sneak peek into what's coming with Guardian games. Alright, we're here with the little insight into what's coming with Guardian games. If you read the TWAB today, you know this gun is coming. And they've already confirmed that it's void and everything. But this gun's perks have already leaked. It is the title. This will be the aggressive frame, 750 round per minute, SMG, coming in with Guardian games. It is void, and it rolls the Stats for All and 1 for all combo. It can also roll a pen and mag. This will give it 28 if it's normal aggressive frame bullet amount. It'll give it 28. This gun also comes with a unique origin trait that when you get kills with it, it's going to give you class ability energy, which most people would argue that this is going to be worse than Funnel Web for some people, hunters specifically, because it doesn't have lightweight, because lightweight's a plus 20. But if you can get enough kills, you'll make up the plus 20 that lightweight is. I think with Stats for All and 1 for all, this gun becomes one of, if not the best, energy SMG in the game. It'll be super consistent because you'll be able to proc Stats for All, 1 for all pretty easily, because at 750 rounds per minute, it's pretty easy to like spray the 3 targets and then reload, and boom, now you have 1 for all. And with the origin trait, I think it will also be super strong. The one thing they haven't said is if it still rolls the Hawkeye trait. If it rolls the Hawkeye trait, because it does have the Hawkeye look to it, it'll also be pretty strong against like vehicles and stuff like that, because the Hawkeye trait is actually really good at what it does. It'll also be kind of nice if you're on like a stasis build to use it, because it'll help break the stasis crystals a little faster for yourself. But I just wanted to show off this. That way, for those of you who will be participating in Guardian games, again, hashtag Team Hunter, I'd be looking out for this role because this is probably going to be the new best SMG in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of the PvE player base ends up running this instead of Funnel Web by the end of Guardian games. Alright, heading into the outro now. Alright, that's going to be it for the video today. I hope that I enlightened y'all some about Stats for All and One for All. Maybe got you to go look out for the perk in Guardian games next week, or maybe got you to go look out for the perk in for Sweet Sorrow, or maybe got you to look for a great roll with it. All these guns are going to be super great with this perk combination. I think it's the #1 perk combination this season that's been overlooked and hasn't been brought up by anybody, and so I wanted to cover it myself because it has become like my addiction to run Stats for All, One for All guns, because it's super fun. I hope that you guys who did watch this video learned something interesting about Stats for All, One for All. If you did, please consider leaving a like on this video. If you enjoyed any part of this video, please consider leaving a like on it. And if you are interested in more content just like this, please consider leaving a subscription on the channel. And I will see everybody in the next one on Sunday. Thank you and goodbye.